Hey, book babes. Welcome back to Two Girls, One TBR. Your chaotic book besties here to wreck your reading list, one morally gray man at a time. I'm Rebecca, and you can find me over on Instagram at Azrella Reads. And this is my lovely co-host, Chelsea.
I'm You can find me on Instagram at Chelsea and Chapters.
Now, before we get into everything, everybody please go check out our YouTube, Spotify. Please follow us. Give us some reviews. All of that helps the chaos to continue. So what have you been up to?
Oh goodness. Work is killing me. I'm exhausted. But other than that, summer started for the kids, so that's nice. Things will hopefully slow down a little bit. I'm down to one box that I need to unpack in the new house.
Wow.
So feeling pretty good. Yeah, we're almost like settled and then life can begin, hopefully. What
How
about
many
you?
how many boxes do you think you had that you
Oh
had to
gosh.
unpack?
I mean, we had at least I want to say we at least had like 40
Yeah.
maybe. And some of them are like still the good thing was some of them were able to just go straight into the garage and then we have a shed in the back and so we were able to throw those in, but it's like the stuff we just have a lot of crap that has
Yeah, oh, yeah.
built up over the years. So, it's like going through and being like, "Okay, we can throw this away," or, "Okay, we need to save this," you know? It
You don't
just took the
realize how
longest.
much stuff you accumulate when you're in a,
Yeah.
you're just living until you have to
Mhm.
pack it up and move. I know
Yeah.
when we moved several years ago to our house we have now, I know
Mhm.
I bought 60 some, I think 62, something like that, of the medium size moving boxes, and they
Mhm.
were full. And we
Yeah.
brought them all in, and now my husband, OCD man, he
Mhm.
unpacked our entire house within 3 days.
Wow. That's
Now,
amazing.
oh yeah, he had it completely unpacked. Now there were boxes and things like that that went into our shed, and
Mhm.
then he immediately ordered the plastic tubs so that
Oh,
we,
yeah.
because he didn't like cardboard, so anything that I was not moving into the house that was going to have to stay out there, um,
Mhm.
he did that so we could be more organized. And then I had to
Yeah.
get rid of all those cardboard boxes, and that's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass to try to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah, I think if it were up to my husband to do it, we would have been done already. But I am very particular about all my craft stuff. So, and I have so much junk that way too that I like. Oh, I need to save this for a future project or this for a future project. So I'm the problem. It's me.
I now as now when
Thank
we
you.
moved in here, we got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, but then I had to buy furniture, and it has taken me well, we've been here 4 years, and it's
Mhm.
taken me that long to find every piece of furniture I want for the house, um, because I like black furniture.
Mhm.
I like that dark academia, that's the dark vibe I
Yes.
have going, and,
Yeah.
now my next thing is I want to get rid of our sectional because we've had it 8 years, and
That's that's a good amount of time.
I think I got my money's worth out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wanna get rid of it, and I don't know what color I want to do because my I still
Mhm.
have kids,
Yeah.
you know? And see, for us, where our sectional is, we have our big coffee table that's in the middle, and then our coffee
Mhm.
table actually opens into our dining room table
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
I didn't want a table in my kitchen, and I
Yeah.
didn't want a table just to be there because it takes up
Yeah.
room. So
Yeah.
so I have that, so it has to match the black, so I might go to gray
Mm.
this time because
Yeah.
my sectional right now is like a deep, deep chocolate color.
Okay. We do a lot of gray and I'm over the gray now. So now I want like, but see, I really like my black, this little comfy chair that
Mhm.
I got. And they sell sectionals kind of like this with this and with this plush. So that's
Do you
like my dream next couch,
do you think it
hopefully.
holds up pretty good, in your opinion, for to be with them all the
Yeah.
time on them?
See, it's hard to say because I'm not on this all the time. So maybe that's what I'm just going to test this out more. I'm going to have to hang out in my reading chair more to
Yes,
be able
you
to
need
tell you
to.
if it holds up. But I would say this is still like brand new, and I've had it for like 6 months now, and it's still great. So I just got to use it more.
So that's my thing, and then I want to get in here, over on this wall over here, I wanna put a
Mhm.
cabinet that's all glass that's, lit up because I want to put some of my antique glass that I've been buying, and then,
Yeah.
my husband wants to display some of his retro gaming systems and stuff because that's his
Oh,
corner. He has
yeah.
to have his
Yeah, that's
corner.
cool.
And then out in my living room, I wanna get another like, a big cabinet that has glass that I can do
Yeah.
different things, and I wanna show my uranium glass.
Yeah. You thinking like a hutch or more like a top to bottom glass type thing?
Well, I wanna have at least, like, some space at the bottom, maybe 2 drawers at the bottom or something, or a
Mhm.
cabinet that's closed, so, like, when I'm like, I can have some more storage space. Storage is
There you go. Yeah.
prime real estate in my house,
Yeah.
because it did not our house did not come with a ton of storage, and
Yeah.
so I have cabinets and, big,
Yeah.
tall pantry cabinets I've bought, and
Yeah.
I as I said, it's storage. Everything's
Yeah.
storage.
That's part of the problem with the last house to this house is that we got rid of furniture because we had a lot of mismatched stuff. Somebody
Mhm.
was like, "Hey, we have this dresser," and we'd be like, "Yeah, sure, we'll
Yeah.
take it." So when we came into this house, I said, "No, we're getting rid of all that mismatched stuff." Well, now we have not no we have no furniture. So that's part of my problem is I don't have hiding space for all this stuff that we had in all of these mismatched furniture. So and we can't afford to just buy a bunch of stuff right now,
I
or
like
furniture.
your
So
bookcases and that you put behind you. I do
mm,
like those. That
yeah,
is pretty. I like it, and I
and
like
it's
that they
IKEA.
close.
Yeah. So the IKEA, I like built it and it wasn't crazy expensive. Um and I did like 3 with the glass
Mhm.
doors that I want to keep like certain books,
Yeah.
from I don't know, for being
They're your s
subjected to the elements.
they're your special
Uh,
ones.
my special ones,
Mhm.
yes. So yeah, but I really liked it, and then I just instead of having my husband put it together because he unfortunately had to do my last one, the IKEA has the Task Rabbit, which is really nice. The guy came in and just did it all
Oh.
and was done in a couple hours instead of it taking, a day and a half.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, because I put together everything. The only thing I had to have him help me with is when I had, because I have a big sideboard out in my kitchen, just to
Uh-huh.
help me put the top on it because it had to go perfect. Other than that,
Yeah,
I've built everything. Um,
which is awesome.
it
Are you good with power tools though? Because I strip everything. I'm so bad.
Oh, no, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with it. Now, do I every now and then put something on backwards and have to take it apart and then have to put it Yes. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm dyslexic. It's just sometimes the instructions when they show it to
yeah,
you, it's not they're just letters and arrows. If they gave it
yeah,
this is I need things maybe written out a little bit more clear than
yeah.
their drawing instructions that they do.
Or front side, back side, something
Yes.
every once in a while would be nice. Yeah.
It Well, when I put my bookcase together, it had 9,000,000 screws, and some were this long and some were just that long, just barely a
Yeah.
difference. And when
Yeah.
I was doing it, I was like, "This isn't right. This isn't right.
Mhm.
Something's not right." And I realized I put the wrong screws in a whole section, and I had to take it apart and figure out
Mm.
which one it was. And this is
Yeah.
all and it's all metal, and it's all well, it's wood and metal, and then it has the it was that was more of a pain in the ass to put together than
Yeah.
any of the other pieces that I have.
Yeah. And it's
But
beautiful
yeah,
now,
mhm.
but I know it's a pain in the ass when you're trying to put it together.
But I bought a lot of my stuff I got it from Wayfair,
Yeah.
and then actually I got my bookcase came from Amazon.
Yeah. They have great stuff. I did Wayfair a lot back in the day,
Mm.
and then I don't know, I kinda forgot about them. They kinda like, if I'm not getting their emails in my inbox, then I just kinda forget they probably all went to spam.
Oh, and if you
So,
watch, you can get some really good prices. I
yeah.
don't everything I bought, I waited till it was on sale.
I always used to get my rugs from Wayfair, and I
Mm.
loved my Wayfair rugs.
Well, see,
Which
now I've
reminds
given
me,
you
I need to get some new ones.
inspiration to look for
Yes,
some
yes.
things. But,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, I've gotten a lot of different things from Wayfair. The only thing I
Yeah.
have that's not Wayfair, I guess, or like my desk here, this is Amazon. I got it because it
Mhm.
has plugs in the desk. But my
Yeah.
bed is it's solid cherry, and I've had
Do
that
you
for a
do
long
you
time.
remember though the conspiracy with Wayfair?
Oh, yeah, they said it's like, isn't it like something they're saying it's funneling or
Like,
something?
yeah, like
Yeah,
human trafficking stuff. Yeah.
yes. That
I
I
think that's
s
also part of why I stopped shopping there,
well, that
just in case.
well, I saw the video, and there was this
Mhm.
guy, and he worked at a bank, and he said this lady kept coming in, like, every month, and it was something like she was sending, like, Wayfair, like, $15,000 a month. Like, she wasn't buying
Weird.
furniture. It was weird,
Weird.
but that's only if
Yeah.
you can believe that that man is telling the truth as well.
Right, and all the other people.
I enjoy I enjoy, a good conspiracy theory, as you
Yes,
know.
yes, yes. We both do for sure. But yeah,
But that
now that I
yeah.
think about it, that might have had something to do with why I haven't shopped at Wayfair for a while.
I'll tell you, but you have to go back and look. Oh, and there's also a website you can go to that it's not Wayfair, but you know, like how there's like the real high-end designer, quote unquote, designer furniture. You can
Yes.
take it and you can look at it and it'll show you the dupe. I think it's dupes or something like that it's called.
Yeah,
And you can
yeah.
find the exact same thing for a fraction of the cost.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I also love, like, Walmart furniture. They have great stuff too.
I haven't bought anything at Walmart furniture for a long time. I had a
Yeah,
giant wall unit, like entertainment center. That's back before the flat screen TVs
yeah.
became a thing. So it was more of like a square. And I remember
Mhm.
my ex-husband, it took him 2 days to put it together. 2 days. I don't
Yeah.
think it really
Well
needed to take 2 days because I put stuff together myself. Now, mind you, it may take me many hours, but
Yes.
I will get it done. But he
Yeah.
stopped halfway through. I'm like, what are you this is
Yeah.
again
See,
why
it's
he's an
also
ex-husband.
yeah, I was gonna say it's also probably because some people just get, like, lazy halfway through, whereas me, I can't stop something until I finish it.
Oh, yeah.
Unless my ADHD kicks in, but that's a different story. That's not, like, a project that I'm doing. That's just, like, laundry and things like that.
Oh, I have my this morning, my husband was looking for his socks. I'm like, "I just did. It's multiple loads of laundry," but it was, like, 2 days ago,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he's like, "I can't find any." But he had taken his socks, and they were in his drawer with his shorts. I said, "I didn't do that. They're not because I take them. Now do you when you do you pair socks together?"
Yes,
Okay.
I do. The
I
rest
d
of the family,
no,
no.
and they were not. I said, "That was you." I said, "You did
Yeah,
that." But
yeah.
I did more laundry than this morning again because God forbid we can't find things in the house.
Yeah.
Men. Oh, and this is one other thing for you, speaking of men. Did you know the reason why if you sneeze a lot and you have allergies because of pollen, that is the overstimulation of male trees. So it's
Really?
again, men.
Wow. Male
Mhm.
trees.
Male
Hmm.
trees. There's just too many of them and not enough the lady trees. I don't know how it all
Interesting.
works,
I
but
didn't
yeah.
even know that they had genders, but learn something every day.
And that's why again, men. Men. But yet we love the men in our books.
Of course.
But
They can do no wrong.
men in real
Reese
life.
Reese would never.
Reese. Oh, are you getting excited though for Akatar 6?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. And I'm really excited. So I'm bummed and excited. My Yellowstone trip that's coming up in like a week and a half. Um it's a ACOTAR, like, reading retreat, and
Oh.
I'm excited about it, but I'm also bummed because then we found out I had booked that before the announcement of 6 and 7, and then they're gonna do some, like, right after, and so I'm kinda bummed that I didn't,
Oh.
like, wait to book those, but it's gonna get me even more excited, like, I'm gonna take my books, I'm gonna reread them while I'm there, and, yeah, I am pretty stoked.
Now, are you going to is part of it, are you gonna discuss theories and stuff that people have for the upcoming,
I
or is it strictly you're gonna be reading?
No, I think no, because we have, like there's, like, trivia night, and we do all kinds of stuff, like, I guess there's, like, arts and crafts,
Oh,
so they have, like, events planned, and then they also give you time, like, you don't have to go to anything, you can just sit in your room and read if you want to.
oh,
Um, yeah, so I'm excited, and then I guess we do, like, a little everybody brings a book and you sign each other's books, so
oh,
I
that's
wanna
neat.
start yeah, so I wanna start, like, bedazzling one of my,
Oh. Oh,
soft
with
cover ones.
the little beads and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
with my
that'll be pretty.
rhinestones, yeah, so that everybody can sign one or that one. But yeah, I'm excited and excited to, like, meet some other people from everywhere. I don't when I look at the names, I don't recognize any of them.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's gonna be really cool to meet, new
Now
people
how
from around the
oh, from around
US.
the US. Now how
Yeah.
far are you from Yellowstone? How long is it gonna take you to get there?
Um, I the flight's only like 2 hours, I wanna say.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Because from here to Montana, maybe it's like 3
That's not too
hours-ish,
bad,
but
though.
yeah, yeah.
Is your
It's gonna
husband gonna
be
go with you?
no,
Oh, it's just
I'm
you?
solo. Yeah,
Oh,
he's gotta stay with the
interesting.
kids.
Oh, well, that'll
I
be
told
fun,
him,
though.
I was like yeah, I told him he and the kids, like, should have come up and stayed, like, nearby and camped or something, but he's like, "Nah, you just go." So,
Well, that'll be
yeah.
fun. Now
Yeah.
now, are you excited about any of the upcoming books that are releasing? Because did you see that, Carrie Lake, just, showed what Vesmora is gonna look like? That you
I did not see that. That's exciting, though. I haven't read her yet. I have her on my shelf, but I haven't read her yet.
you should keep
Um,
her on your shelf until we're getting towards spooky season,
yeah,
because she has that dark vibe. It's not the unless you like
yeah,
darkness like I do all year round.
yeah,
Um, but it's more, that fall vibey,
yeah,
that feel.
yeah. Wait till it's misty to read
There's a
her, foggy and
shit.
misty.
There's so many good books coming out. Light Wielder
Mhm.
comes out next week. Um,
Yeah.
what's her name there? Helen Sure, as Heather and I say, sure.
Sure,
Her
sure.
book comes out in September.
Mhm.
Vesmorica, I think it's September, October. Of
Okay.
course, SJM's book comes out.
Mhm.
There's so many good books. Oh, Raven
Yeah.
Kennedy's new book comes out in September. Her,
Oh, yeah,
The
the
Pied Piper, the first one
Pied
comes
Piper
out.
series. Yeah. And then I just woke up to news this morning of, I don't know if you remember me talking about Between Tides and Thunder by Lena
Yes, Heather was
Kazak.
just talking about her yesterday. Her, that
So
particular book she talked about.
yes. So she like had taken everything off her Instagram and there was nothing. And people
Oh,
online were like, what's going on? What, she's getting ready for something big. Well, then I checked my inbox this morning because I'm part of her newsletter and she dropped. So that entire book she did from the male's POV. So
oh,
now, yeah. So that was like the surprise. She's like, and you can read it right now. So it's like already up on Kindle Unlimited.
oh,
And I'm like,
nice.
shit, now I have to drop like everything and read that
I'll
because
have to tell Heather because I don't know if Heather knows that.
she does. She's
Oh,
on the newsletter too.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, then she definitely then
Yeah.
knows.
But I'm like, oh, it's so exciting. But I'm like, I'm still trying to get through Fury Bound. Let's see. And I'm excited for the next one to come out. But I'm like, I'm there
Oh,
ish.
not bad. Are
So
you liking
yeah.
so how are you feeling between book 1 and book 2? Which one do you think they're equal in being wonderful, or is there one that you like
Um,
more than the other?
See, it's hard. I'm really liking this one because we're learning like it's kind of slowing things down and now we're learning about like what's happening and the journey that she's on. So I like that part of it.
Okay.
Um, but I feel like there's not going to be a lot of like plot. We're kind of
Mm,
like in an in between, like a lull a little bit so far.
mm,
Um, so we'll see. But
we'll see.
I'm definitely enjoying it. I like the character development of the main female main character a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
more. So
Now, is that a
yeah, and then
trilogy or
yeah.
is oh, okay, so there is one more
Yeah.
book coming out. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Interesting. Now,
Yeah.
I'm like I said this to Heather yesterday because we recorded yesterday, but I am reading um
Oh,
Kingdoms of
yay!
Silent Sorrows. It is very good.
Yeah.
I'm just at the beginning of it, and it's
Yeah.
so good because last night I didn't have an opportunity to read, but it is
Yeah.
so good. A.G. Harris is she's an amazing author.
Yeah.
It's I like the way she writes. But it like the first part when you get into it, it's not like chapter 1 is like 50 some pages
Okay.
because it's kind of like I don't know if those are the people that I'm gonna be reading as it continues on, or if it's kinda
Mhm.
like this is the events that are happening that are gonna lead us into the next part. But it's
Got
it's
it.
it's very good. I really like
Yeah.
I know she has book 2 done. I think she has book
Mhm.
2 and 3 done. She
Okay.
has all then she's in there in the editing process, so hopefully,
Yeah.
because 'cause we'll hear from her next week, she's gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
get
she's
to
one who I've got lined up, like, I wanna get to hers ASAP, hopefully this week. And she and I bonded over liking TL Swan, so I'm excited to talk to her about that when we have her on. Um,
Oh, yeah, she's super
yeah.
sweet, and she just got back, from an amazing trip in, Japan. So we'll have to
Oh,
ask
we
her
can
about
bond
that.
over that too. Yeah, I'm excited.
And then
Cool.
after I finish that, because you know how I am, I only read one book at a time. And,
Mhm.
but I read, remember I was reading Your Path is Sorrow by Parker
Oh,
A. Garner,
yes.
and
Uh-huh.
it is so good. I flew through that one. Like,
Yeah.
not it was like, because you know how I read. But I
Yeah.
read that whole thing within a week, and then now I got book 2, Your Path is Sacrifice.
Oh,
So,
okay, I was just about to ask how many there are.
well, there's 3 that are out, and then
Okay.
she plans 2 more after.
Oh, okay.
Um, but now this one here, I was able to get, the 3rd one, right now she's having problems with Amazon because that's where I ordered it from, so she's
Yeah.
looking into getting, them printed that you can just order them from her website since Amazon's giving her
Oh,
problems. So, but
yeah.
book 3 is out, but I like
Okay.
having a physical copy, you know how I am.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
me too.
but they're really pretty, and I like oh, and also as Heather always says, "I'm sure there's some Easter eggs happening here."
Mhm. Yeah.
But if you do get a chance to read it, you'll really like her stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
I really like her.
she's another one I really wanna get to, especially since you guys had her on the podcast. I've been wanting to, read it, and Magpie is just a standalone,
Yes.
so
But
I've
well,
been
it's a
wanting to read that too.
standalone, and then she's going to be writing another book from people that are in like it's kinda like interconnected,
Interconnected.
but you don't
Yeah.
have to read them in
Right.
that order or anything. I believe, if I remember correctly, that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Heather
Okay,
has read
cool.
Magpie. I have Magpie on my shelf. I plan
Yeah.
on reading that this summer too.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I really like her, the way she writes. She's
Yeah.
very vivid, and the way her chapters go, you're reading it and you get to the end of the chapter and you're like, "Oh, no." And and you have to continue on because
Right.
you know how sometimes you'll get a
Can't
book
stop there.
and you're reading it and then you're like, "Whew, I need to take a break." You know, like sometimes when
Yes.
you're reading, but this one,
Yeah.
when the way she writes it, you can't wait to read the next
Yeah.
chapter. I think that's
I
why I
love
flew
that.
through it. Um, but now, also before we bring on Ellie Sells, I
Mhm.
just want to mention that we have our 2 drinks that are going to be up on our Instagram under sips. The drink is, let's see here, the Dragon's Ember. That's the mocktail. I guess maybe I just did a mocktail this time. I think maybe I
Hmm.
didn't do an alcoholic one too. If not, I
Well,
will
you can always
definitely add one.
I was gonna say you can always just throw some alcohol into it.
Oh, you could, yeah, it's true. You can just throw some alcohol into it.
Pick your poison and throw it in.
But it does look really good. It's something with pomegranate juice and orange
Oh,
juice and stuff like that. So it
that
looks
sounds good.
it looks interesting. So,
That
but they
sounds
will
like a
be on there.
good, I was gonna say that sounds like a good, what, vodka type drink?
Yeah. I
Yeah, there
have
you go.
I haven't drank vodka for a while. The reason I kind of got sick on vodka here, and this
I
was a
was
number
gonna
ago.
say, let's talk about this. What did we do on vodka?
Well, this was many, many moons ago. And we were at my husband's mom's house, and she had some friends over, and we were I don't remember if we were playing cards or what we were doing, and because my oldest was a baby at the time, but he was sleeping already, so this would have been later in the night, and we were having Big Red. Have you ever drank Big Red before? It's a type of pop.
Mm-mm.
It's red. I can't look at it. I can't smell it. This has
Mm-mm.
been years. My son will be 16 this year, so that gives you an
Yeah.
idea of the last time that I touched Big Red. It makes
Mhm.
it it's one of those kind of things. And I drank so much of it because I was doing vodka shots and then chasing it with Big Red.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember being so drunk. And I don't get drunk. I mean, I might get a little tipsy or something like that nowadays,
Yeah.
but this was like, and I remember I couldn't make it up the steps to go to our bedroom. And I remember my husband had to pull me up the steps because there was no straightness left back into me there. I was completely sideways. And we went to bed. This would have been like late. So then it was
Mhm.
getting like morning, and we were going to go to my father-in-law's house because my husband's parents are divorced. So we were going to go to his house to go
Mhm.
visit him. And I woke up and I was so sick. You know, that hangover, and I was sick.
Yeah.
And I knew I could not make it. to go down the steps because at the bottom of the steps was the bathroom. And I could not make it. I had to open the window and I threw up down the side of my mother-in-law's house.
Oh,
I did that. So I can't touch that stuff anymore. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I could still probably drink vodka or do a little like a screwdriver or something, but
Yeah.
Big Red,
Yeah, no, that's out.
never. No. Have you ever gotten that sick when you've been drinking?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A couple times. But it was when I was younger, like, just getting into being able to drink. So, not in a very long time, thank goodness.
Oh no, I would have been. Oh, I was 30. I was 30 when I did that. But and then the time prior to that, I had too many screwdrivers. Vodka. Again, it was vodka,
Yeah.
vodka and orange
Yeah.
juice. And then for some reason, I ate a cheeseburger. For some reason, thought that was a good idea. And this
Mhm.
was at my parents' house, and my mom and dad even they frowned upon everything. But I remember I was so sick, and I remember I threw up in the front yard.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are the
That's
only 2
rough.
times I ever was really sick. I've never really like I said, I'm not a big drinker,
Yeah.
but those are the 2 times, and then I remember it left like a spaceship like a spaceship had landed in the yard, it killed the grass.
Oh my gosh.
It was not the best moment of my life there, but
That's funny.
and I think that's why I don't after those 2 experiences, that's probably why I don't,
Oh,
like,
yeah, you
I
don't
won't.
indulge that much anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Like, again, I will drink something and I'll get a little tipsy. We did have wine the
Yeah.
other night,
Mhm.
and just 1 glass because I got crystal goblets on my search, and they're real pretty.
Mhm.
I'll have to show them to you. And,
Yeah.
I had it, and I didn't realize how strong that wine was because I had drank it, and then I was gonna go clean some of my other glass stuff that I bought.
Mhm.
I couldn't hold my glass. It's not that it's just I was a little the world
Right.
was moving a little bit, and I
Yeah.
decided, "I'm not gonna do that."
Let's not play with glass right now.
No.
Yeah.
Especially that it's antique stuff that you can't
Right. Yeah,
find
you're
again.
pretty yeah, exactly.
So, that is what I so that I don't partake much.
That is so
Do you
funny.
drink
Yeah.
beer? Are you a beer drinker?
No, I'm really not unless it's a cider. I love ciders. Wine, although
Mm.
I will never do like sweet wine ever again. I used to do when I was younger, I do like the Stella Rosa, like the sweet ones, and I like projectile vomited drinking that one time.
Oh.
So, and I've never done that before, and that was awful. Like you don't even feel it coming on; it just happens. So, yeah, that was the last time I ever drank that. But I love like a good Riesling, and then whiskey is my I love whiskey and Coke.
I do
So,
like that. I
yeah.
I used to drink that quite often. This was years ago. I don't again, I haven't drank whiskey in years either, but I always liked it in
Yeah.
Coke. I liked
Yeah.
Glenlivet. I like to have
Mhm.
that. I liked, Jim Beam. I mean, we're in Kentucky here. We're in the bourbon and whiskey area,
Right.
because we don't
Yeah.
because where we live, we're actually very close to, all the big distilleries.
Mhm.
When we went doing our little antiquing thing the other day, we actually
Mhm.
drove by, Four Roses, Jim
Mm.
Beam. I can't think of the other one we went by, but we drove past them as we were going to, the one place we were going to. And you can
Yeah,
go and you
that's
can
cool.
tour them.
I was gonna say, are they open for, like, tastings and stuff?
I
That's
know
cool.
Jim Beam is, and I think pretty much all of them you can go and they do tours and stuff like that. I'd like to go.
Yeah.
I think it would be fascinating just to see how they make it and all that kind of stuff. I asked my
Yeah.
kids, do they want to go and see that? Because I think it's still something neat. No,
Yeah.
no, we live this
Maybe when
close to it.
they're
Older,
older.
maybe
Yeah, or, like, for their 21st birthday or something, that'd be
they
a
might
fun
like
thing to
it.
go do. Yeah.
But it is, but again, but it's really neat. But and also if you go downtown, they have Bourbon Row and they have
Mm,
all kinds of stuff on that. I don't ever
that's
go
cool.
downtown though. It's not
Yeah.
my thing. It's too
Too
peoply,
people-y.
too peoply. I am not. I
Yeah.
mean, I think this is why we do our little antiquing thing. There's only so many people there.
Yeah. Yep.
I won't go Kentucky Kingdom. I mean, we live 20 minutes from Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay. Do you think you're ever
Mhm.
going to get me there? No. Plus, I get motion sick. I don't
Yeah.
want to go on rides. I get
Yeah.
sick. Do you get
It
motion
ruins
sick?
your whole day. Oh, I get really bad. Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
motion sick when my husband's driving sometimes.
Yep.
And when we were driving just the other day, had to take a detour because there was something with the interstate was closed. And so our
Oh,
GPS sent us on this. I mean, the road was paved really nice. It was beautiful. We were out in the country kind of thing, but it was like the road, no berm. It was like if you miscalculated, you were like, whoop, you're down in the ditch kind of thing.
mhm.
It narrow, and then it was twisting. I couldn't
Yeah.
look at my phone. I couldn't do anything. I had to just keep
Yeah.
focusing what he was doing because otherwise I was getting sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I get it really bad.
Have you ever gotten motion sick when you are driving?
It's
I
happened
have.
once or twice. Yeah, once or twice. But mostly if I've got like the kids in the car and they're asking me for stuff and I'm like, trying to
Mhm,
divert my
mhm.
attention, that's when I get it.
Yeah, I've gotten sick driving myself, and I guess that's a more of a
Yeah.
rare thing. Most people don't get sick when they're driving,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I have done it to myself. So that's
Mhm.
our fun excitement. But hey,
Yeah.
everybody, we will be right back with LE Cells. I hope you enjoyed our fun confessions of what happened to us when we drank. Hey, today we are joined by the absolute mastermind, LE Cells. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. Mastermind.
Yes, you
Thanks.
are. You are wonderful, and you are so funny, and you crack my soul inside. I love
Oh,
following you on Instagram. You're just a lovely, lovely lady.
oh, thanks. I try my best. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, so.
Do any of us know what we're doing ever?
You know,
No.
I feel like some people are really good at faking it, like they know what they're doing,
Yes.
you
I
know?
I am realizing that more into adulthood. I'm like, nobody ever actually has it all figured out because I thought I would, and nope, not
Do
at
not.
all.
I used to think like people like when they were older, like this had been when I was in my 20s, and I'm like, oh, by the time you're in your 40s, you really know what's happening, you know what's going on. No,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-mm.
I feel the same as I did then. I mean, I might have a little bit more knowledge of things,
Mhm.
of how things work in the world than I did because I was a little bit more naive and stuff. But now you don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody knows. I think like all the old people that are like in their 80s and they think they know as much as we do.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so I don't
Yeah.
Everybody's just like
necessarily,
that.
I don't take their advice because I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what they're doing. So
Nope.
how are you doing today, by the way?
I'm doing really good. My husband made me some coffee for this,
Oh,
my little
sweetness.
very stickery tumbler mug
I love it.
full of caffeine. Um, but yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm working on, actually, this was a question I had for you guys as
Oh,
avid romance readers,
Mhm.
because as a reader and a writer, I have questions. Because I have my feelings about the stuff that I read. I'm usually a mood reader, for
mhm,
the most
Yeah.
part, but I kind of span across all kinds of genres. I genuinely really love fantasy romance,
Yes.
dark romance, but
Mhm.
I also really like contemporary. I like Sierra Simone is one of my absolute favorite authors, and she writes predominantly contemporary romance, right? She doesn't do
Mhm.
too much fantasy, although Thornchapel does have that occult vibe to it, which is, I love that.
Mhm.
But the question I have is because most of my stuff is either paranormal or fantasy romance.
Mhm.
And I'm working on a novel that's contemporary. And I'm like, I know Yaros does this, right? She's got her Fourth Ring series, but then she also has some contemporary pieces.
Yes.
And I'm like, is this okay? Like, are we breaking some sort of rule here as a writer, being like, I write fantasy paranormal romance. If I have a contemporary piece, is it just gonna, are you readers are gonna be like, what are you doing?
Nope.
Why are you doing that? Okay.
Nope.
no, I'm kidding.
I
I know Chelsea will love it.
especially because I like to take a break in between the romantasy. I absolutely love, and paranormal I love, but sometimes my brain needs a break from like the world building and like it's a lot. It's a lot more to take in and like get your mind there. Whereas
Mhm.
contemporary, I can just jump right in. And so I will normally do a romantasy, a contemporary, a romantasy, a contemporary. So if you're the author that I know I like Rebecca Yarros or reading your books, I'd be like, oh, cool. So now I can read one of your contemporary after I just read Fourth Wing. Yeah. So, and I love that she does like historical fiction contemporary and she does like right now contemporary. So do what you want,
Yep.
girl.
Okay.
I'm all in. Yes.
Good. That makes me feel good just because
Yeah.
I really love this piece that I'm working on, and I'm really excited about it because it's sort of different because I kind of feel like the whole forgiveness factor is something that is hard for women, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because we're like, you get one shot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like I
Yeah.
feel like this is like a almost like a second chance sort of situation, but for my MMC, he didn't really know what was happening either. So it's sort of
Okay.
like this is where her flaws are sort of on display too. It's like, okay, but you can also allow him to make that change and show that he wants to be, a part of your life.
Yeah.
Um
I love that
and
actually because that is a toxic relationship thing that like is real in real life where people are
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, you mess up once, too bad, we're done." And like to have that like introspective or like be able to look at yourself as the female and be like, "Oh, actually, you know what? I need to ease up on people a little bit." I think
yes.
that's a good thing to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the it came from a prompt, a writing prompt. Actually, most of my work comes from the can I cuss? Is that
Oh,
okay? Am I allowed?
yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
You can
It's
say
like
we can say dong, we can say fuck, all the things, whatever
Yeah,
you
we
want.
we don't clutch pearls here. You have to remember that.
perfect. Excellent. Let's just wear the pearl necklaces. Everything's fine. Okay, so everything comes from a fucking writing prompt for me. So
Yep.
anyway, this particular one was, a couple goes on a trip and they come home. One surprises the other one with breaking up with the other, and the female, whatever. The guy breaks up with her and she tells him that she's pregnant.
Oh, plot twist.
Uh-huh. And so it's like, I love that because and the one thing that I enjoy about starting a book is you're immediately like, oh my God, like
Mhm.
what? And so the first two chapters, it's like the end of the relationship and how that
Love it.
happens. And it's just like, oh my God, And so it's very deeply emotional, right? Because
Yeah.
that's really powerful.
Yes.
Um, and so it's about how that all happens in the beginning, but then how they actually come back together because he doesn't know. He doesn't know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And so she has to figure out not only how to like allow him back in, and a part of that healing comes from her daughter too. So like she has this baby. She's now 8 when he comes back into the picture.
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh my God, not only am I a dad, but like also this is like who I've been missing." You know what I mean? It's sort of like this aha, like lightning bolt
Wait, he doesn't
realization.
does she tell him that she's pregnant?
Oh.
Oh!
Oh, see, that's
Oh my
good.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
right? So he
oh,
comes back after 8 years. They meet in this coffee shop by happenstance, right? Like a little meet cute sort of thing, re-meet cute. And he's just like, "Oh my God, like like I can't like it's you, like oh my God, like this lightning bolt realization for her, like that she's or for him, sorry for him, that she's this beautiful person that he's been missing. And oh my God, like where have you been? I can't believe I left and I'm such an idiot." And then in comes 8-year-old Tristan and he's like, "Oh, of course she's gotten married
chills.
and have kids." But then she also names him and names her daughter, he gives her daughter his middle name. So
Oh,
that's how he figures out that
That she is
that's
his.
his. Oh yeah.
oh,
Oh,
the chills if you could
that
see them.
that
Oh,
would be I have to tell you, that would be such an amazing movie. I have to tell
so
Yeah.
you.
good.
I mean, it's an
Yeah.
amazing book. I love that, but oh, I would
Hmm.
so watch that. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Me
so
too.
good.
Yes.
I like that. I
Com-
like that. And he has no
yeah.
idea. And he's
He has
missed
no
that whole
Completely.
idea.
big chunk of her life. Oh, I love
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that was
wow.
actually like one of the parts of it when he's going through it and sort of like realizing in that moment, like I have missed Like that was actually, you know how sometimes when you do something, you're like, good job. Like that
Yeah.
was when
Yeah.
he's like having that like really deep emotional realization. Like I missed her first birthday, her first Christmas, all the
Yeah.
turns in Adrian's stomach, the late night 2 a.m. wake ups,
Mhm.
like I
You
All
missed
missed
of
all
it.
all
the
of it,
important moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like he's just having a big this is
Well, it'd be like a
like a
crisis.
singularity.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
tragic. Oh,
yeah. And so then the rest of the book becomes like, how do I, it's not necessarily how do I fix this? It's how do I how do I belong in this?
yeah.
And how can I make it so that way I belong here? Because you two are my whole heart and my whole world.
Yeah.
And for Adrian, who's the female in this, and Tristan, it's how she realizes, because she's carrying a lot of that anger and resentment that she feels like she's sort of put to the side about him leaving. And she has to figure out how to let that go. And she gets a lot of that healing from Tristan being like, you're being cruel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you haven't let him try. You haven't even let him,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
it's,
that's good.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I think you will have a very large audience for that.
I
Yeah.
hope
Absolutely.
so.
Because,
Yeah.
oh, that is such an amazing, just that little bit
Yeah.
of what you said. I'm not so much like a contemporary romance reader, but I have to tell you, just what you told me, it sucked me in. That,
Mm.
it makes me want to know, how is this going to end? Now, is that a standalone, or are you going to make that a
No, that's going to
series?
be a
Just a
standalone.
standalone?
Yeah.
Girl, I need to have a one-off.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few, like, so Kindred is a series, and then Survive from the Ashes. Ugh, can we pretend like I know how to talk? That would be great. So Survive from the Ashes is a 4.5 book series.
Oh, okay.
And what's nice about that is that I'm writing it with a co-author. So it's
Mhm.
really a lot. I mean, it's not easy, but it's easier in the sense where I'm almost like writing half a book and then she's writing
Right.
the other half. So it's a little bit easier that we're like working on it together. And so we get it done. Like the
Yeah.
first 2 books, no, the first 3 books, because there's the novella, which we
Mhm.
finished in 2 weeks. Like, don't even ask me. Like,
Amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
we were just like, brrr. And
Yeah.
then the first book, this one, Survive from the Ashes,
Mhm.
this one we finished in like a month because we were
Wow.
so invested in the story. Like we had everything plotted out, we had our chapter draft, and we're like, okay, let's go. And so we just wrote it. And
That's
then
awesome.
we did the same thing with the second book. And that took us like, I think maybe another month and a half, 2 months,
Wow.
just
You
because
guys are
of,
flying through those.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
That's
I
impressive.
mean,
incredible.
now we have now we have to like promote and market the book and do
Yeah.
all of the other admin-y type things with
Yeah.
writing a book as
Which
an
sounds
indie.
like it might take longer than even writing it half the time.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So it definitely puts a damper on like how fast we can write because we have
Yeah.
all the other little things to do. But
Yeah.
I'm on my end, I'm sorting out how to do that so that way I'm not having to saddle myself with all of those things,
Mhm.
Mhm.
with utilizing outside resources to help with that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we have like the first, I want to say 7, 8 chapters written of the third book, which I'm so freaking excited for this
Yeah.
series because it's really, really good and it's very immersive. So.
Is it spicy?
That's
Oh, girl, that is the platform in which I stand upon forever. I will die on that hill. Like
awesome.
I don't think it is in me to do stuff that isn't spicy. I just don't want to. I like the spice. I
I love
like
Oh.
it.
spice. That's
I do too.
always, anybody tells
Yeah.
me about a book, that's always my first question. Is it
Mhm.
spicy?
Yes.
Because
Does it have any kind of
I don't do the fade to black kind of thing. I want to know information. I want to have visuals and descriptions of things.
yes, because it elicits those emotions
Mhm.
just the same
Yep.
as a fight scene, as a, you know, any other kind of scenes where it's engaging with your emotions. It's doing the same thing,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
It's just we don't tend to balk away from that because we're like, yes, please, may I have some more?
Yeah.
You know,
I will take that.
we always giggle, about when an author describes the manly areas, like that it springs out, or that she can hardly get her hands around with two
Oh,
hands.
that
So I hope your descriptions are lovely as well.
I certainly try. It definitely helps seeing a lot of these social media people post about like their icks about romance reads and
Yeah.
how they're like, please don't say folds.
Oh, yeah, folds.
Wait, I have one. I have
Yeah.
one.
What is it?
I do not like any part of the female body being described as meaty.
Meaty.
Yeah,
Nor
I
do
read a book.
I.
Listen, I read a book. It was like he grabbed the meaty part of my somewhere, and I'm like, it just ruined. It
Stop
ruined the
it.
entire experience for me. I don't want to be called meaty ever.
No.
It's like
Unless we're
call me soft, or call me this or that, but not meaty.
Meaty. That's different.
I okay. So like when we're referring to and this is where it gets funny, right? Because some people are like, you know, they're just trying to come up with some adjectives
Yes.
to like go
Yeah.
with it. But like,
Yeah.
and we want to look at like the feminine body as strong in
Yes.
addition to being beautiful and delicate and mysterious and la la la,
Yes.
all the things.
Yeah.
However, as much as I enjoy being eaten, I do not want to be referred to as meat when that is occurring.
Yeah.
God.
It feels very I don't know. It doesn't feel good in my body.
Yeah. It's not like a romantic thing. It just kind of kills the mood right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let me
I d-
ask you this. How do we feel about when they describe the on a woman and as the seam? How do we feel about that term? Do we like that term?
That's a good question.
Because
it
that's
it
I've read that a lot. It's her seam he has found, or her apex of it, but the seam.
um I really think that it depends on how it's written,
Yeah.
genuinely, because if there's a lot of emphasis on the word where the reader is like on that,
Hmm.
well, it really just depends on like how neurospicy you are, right? Because if you
Yeah.
have very specific words that you're like, absolutely fucking not. Like
Yeah.
most people with some sort of atypicality hate the word moist. So we try in
Yeah.
general not
Yeah.
to use that unless it's in reference to like, you know, the climate. But we're not
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about the climate of my pants. Like we're
Yeah.
not going to say, you know, my, I don't know. I don't know.
It always reminds me of what is it? It's like Stifler's mom, but she's in the Cinderella story. She's like, so moist.
Yes. Oh my God. You're so good at
I
that. Look at
I
you.
love Jennifer Coolidge. Isn't that her
That's
name?
Oh,
there we go.
same.
Jennifer Coolidge. Yes.
She
Makes me want a hot dog real
Moist.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love her. I loved
Same.
American Pie. She made the movie because she's not. When you look over all the franchise of it, she was never in the movie very much, but she did such a phenomenal job. She is so rememberable, and I love
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge.
She's amazing. But
Oh
yeah,
my
You
so
god!
know,
seam, I get that. It
yeah.
depends because I don't think I've ever noticed it until you just said it.
Mhm.
So I don't think it bothers me unless, like you said, you're like there's emphasis and it's just like
Yeah.
seam, just like meaty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like, you know, with more of like, I don't want to say derogatory, but they're more of like slang words
Yeah.
Yeah.
for feminine genitalia, right? So
Yeah.
pussy, cunt,
Yeah.
those things. I don't mind reading those, but it's very like abrasive. And so,
Yes.
but if it's woven into the prose in such a way, it doesn't feel as like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so it just depends on the finesse the writer has with those specific words. So like
Yeah.
if you're talking about a seam, you can put it in the writing in such a way where maybe you can surround it by like some beautiful detail,
Yeah.
you know? And so that way it's not so like her ass crack, her seam, you know, her vagina lips. Like we're not let's be graceful, you know.
Well, now let's look on the other side of the coin of it. Is there any words that are in your mind that are ick to describe the dick? I mean, is there, you know what I mean? Is there anything that if you're reading and they're writing and describing, you know, his dick, is there any way that you're like, I don't like that? I always giggle whenever they say it took two of her hands to grip it. That is like, that's a lot of flesh coming at you.
You have to
You
unhinge
know,
the jaw.
Or
know.
like, that is no longer pleasurable. That is now childbirth. Like straight across the gate. Like I don't understand. I don't mind a well-endowed man, but that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, let's be so real about this. Like any woman worth her salt, regardless of how many children she's had, regardless of how wide her hips may be, a dick like that is gonna fucking hurt. I'm just, if we're being realistic. Now, granted, if we're in a fantasy realm, what I know, my husband is literally came out and looked at me like, what? We're talking about large penises. No big deal. I love you. It might be yours. Just kidding. Sorry. He's like, oh dear God, I'm running away to the office now.
Oh my God, this is so funny.
I love it.
Okay, but to answer your question, really, I like the more derogatory terms for a man's privates, only because just men's parts are sort of out there. There's
They
nothing
are.
mysterious about males'
No.
genitalia. It is,
No.
there it is.
Yeah.
So using words like dick and cock feel kind of good for me as a reader and a writer.
Mhm.
I will say that when you use slang like man meat,
No.
schlong, stop it. Stop that right
Yeah,
now.
no.
Because now I'm laughing, and I
Yeah.
feel like there are certain parts during like an intimate scene where you can giggle, but you shouldn't be laughing at the terms that are even used. Like, keep me in it, because if you say something that's gonna make me laugh and bring me out of it, then I'm out of it. So
Yeah.
I want to stay in the scene and still like, ooh, not oh God, like what?
Yeah. Those words are definitely should be reserved for like the girlfriend talk after the fact. Not, definitely not in the moment.
Exactly. And so that's where it's fine. Like that's where I find it hilarious. But when we're describing said parts on the male anatomy,
I
in the
haven't
moment,
really heard any ick or read any ick ones that I can that come to mind. Thankfully,
I have enjoyed all
Yet.
descriptions of the dick from all my books. The moments make me giggle sometimes, though, like when he springs forward. And I always think of those, you know, like on the back of the door, you know, like where a doorstop is on the spring. That's always what I think of when they say it sprung out of his pants. And it makes me giggle inside my mind. And I'll be reading and I'll be laughing. And my husband's like, what are you laughing about? I'm like, you don't want to know.
say dicks. About springy dicks.
Springy dicks, and
do you want to read it?
and the two hands around it's so large. I always just think of that wall of penis that's coming at her, and it's always these very like in a lot of the books we read, there are all these very delicate, very little tiny girls, and I'm like, how are they taking this so or they've never had a dick come near them ever a day in their life, and they take it like a champion the first time when it's like that coming at them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I started writing fantasy romance in fan fiction.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote a Twilight fan fiction.
I saw that on your website. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So, which by the way, my website is changing. Please don't judge me.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was doing. It's getting redone.
Hey, at least you have one. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So I have this really incredible woman from Hawthorne and Astor who's going to be rebuilding the website, and it's going to look gorgeous because I'm also a person that really loves like tarot cards and stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
This is how I knew she was my person, because she was like, so you told me you like jewel tones, and you told me you like celestial vibes and stuff. How do you feel like the Weaver tarot card deck? And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like the deck I've used for like like over like a decade. I'm like, synchronicity. So she's going to rebuild it with that being the muse as this beautiful tarot card deck. So I'm
Oh,
very
pretty.
excited. Very, very pretty, like gold accents with like blues and purples and pink tones. And I'm just like, oh my God. So it's going to be gorgeous. I digress. The Twilight fan fiction. I started writing that because I grew up with Twilight. I was in love with Twilight. I was a total Twihard like nerd. In love, I could not pick between Edward and Jacob because they were both fantasy creatures that I would just bend over for no problem. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. And, but like, as my frontal lobe developed and I realized I'm like, so Bella's being groomed the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that a whole lot. And so I wanted to create a story where Bella gets the opportunity to make a choice about, you know, about getting married and having children, because those are huge societal pieces of women's history and their future, in a sense, you know, of what they get to make a choice about.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it gave me a lot of ick reading it later or watching it later, seeing that like, well, I will change you if you marry me. And it's like, ew, ew. And the fact that he was like, she wanted to have the baby that she didn't really ever wanted to get pregnant with, but okay, here we are. And then he was like, I don't want to get rid of it. And it's just like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Yeah.
Who is this person? We don't like him, but somehow we love him, and I don't like it. And it's anyway. Anyway, the fan fiction starts in New Moon after Edward is left, and he's gone, and she meets Paul Lahote and Jake. So she knows Jacob Black. She's best friends with Jacob Black. I didn't go with her and Jacob Black being the thing.
Okay.
But I did with Paul Lahote, and hear me out here. Do you guys remember who Paul was?
I remember Paul. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I only watched the movies, and it's been a number of while.
That's great. So Paul was the one who phased in front of her first, and she punched him in the face.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She didn't like him.
Mama can work with that.
Yeah, she didn't like him.
No, and I liked that. I like that a whole lot. I'm like, oh, I can work with that. I can do the I hate you thing, the enemies to lovers dig. That's
I love enemies to lovers.
Very unexpected. Yes.
I like that a lot. So I'm very proud of the fan fiction. I mean, granted, it's a little bit earlier writing, so it's not as like maybe as mature as it is now. I still love it though. I've read that story several times. Am I biased? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I still love the story. Like I love how it turned out, and I still have Victoria in there as like the big bad. And towards the end, when she actually does confront Edward, she fucking lets him have it.
Good.
And it's honest. It's like, you left and you said you didn't want me anymore. How was I supposed to interpret that? I'm not going to be on your back burner, you know, my whole life waiting for you to come back. And that was what I wanted her to say. You know, like, I'm not getting married to you. If you don't want to change me into a vampire because you're an asshole, that is your choice. But I do not want to get married. So eat a dick. I have feelings.
I wish Heather was here, because Heather is a giant Twilight fan, and I send her memes all the time. Like I find stuff, and it's like people will have a cake and it's sparkly, and it's like, this is the skin of a killer, Bella.
This is the cake of a killer.
Oh, and I send her all different things, and oh my God, now I've said this before in a couple other episodes, but do you remember it's Mystery Science 3000, I think is what it's called. I think that's the actual correct name. I keep calling it other things. It was on TV years ago.
Yeah.
And remember, they were like little puppet guys, but they were like making fun of movies. Well,
They're the silhouettes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they have a website. It's something else, and I can't remember now again. I don't remember the website. I have to look it again. That you can download, or you buy them, and you can download it and watch the entire Twilight series with them talking and giving commentary. And they said it makes it so much better.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. You can see the preview of it on there, and you listen to it, and it's, oh my God, it's hilarious.
Chef's kiss, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
Can't
love
wait.
Twilight. I remember, so I went to the movies by myself because I
Oh.
had no other friends that liked Twilight. But it's so funny. So I showed up by myself to go watch it like in the middle of the day. And one of the girls, I used to coach water polo because I played. And so like right after high school, I started coaching it. And one of the girls with her mom was there. They're like, "Do you want to sit with us?" And it was like so embarrassing. It was very sweet, but it was like so embarrassing that I'm like, I'm here watching Twilight by myself.
You're like,
Damn. So I'm like, sure, I'll sit with you guys. I would have been totally fine by myself, but
man, that would have been funny if you'd been like,
yeah.
this is me time.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
This
thanks.
is me and with my Edward and Jacob shirt underneath all my clothing. Yeah.
Let me sit peacefully in my
Yeah.
boogaloo, okay?
Yes. But I freaking loved it. But now that you bring that up, like I think if I were to read it again as an adult, I'd feel the exact same way. And like she
Yeah.
didn't even have time to decide what she wanted in life, really.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
was 17, 18.
Mhm.
And, also there's that whole like sort of pedo vibe a little bit,
Yeah.
because she's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it'd be a little bit different if she was in like her mid 20s, maybe. She's
Mhm.
still pretty young, but
Yeah.
17 really is
17
when
because
all
they're
of it
in high
started.
school. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's 107.
Yeah.
I mean, he's stuck in a 17-year-old body, but still.
Still.
Oh, I mean, well, men's minds and the
You're
way men are,
posing
it takes them a
as a
long
student.
time to mature to get to our level.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
kind
it
of like
does
Never
take
Been
them
Kissed.
100 years.
Never Been Kissed, how it was like that. Like I loved that movie and now I'm like, that's creepy as fuck. And he got mad when she wasn't a student.
Right?
I thought you were
That's
17.
so icky.
You're not who you said
You
you
go
were.
back. You go
So
back
gross.
and you look at a lot of different like movies and stuff that we liked and different songs. Like the 80s had a lot of songs that were very creepy when you listen to them. Because there's one,
Yeah.
isn't it? He's saying she's only 16. It's oh god, it's a bad. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because when you actually break it down and you listen to it, that is creepy.
Yeah.
Well-
it's been a long road for women being objectified at a very young age.
Well, how do we feel about because ACOTAR 6 is coming out, what do we feel now about book 1, because Feyre was well, technically wasn't she was 19, and then she had 500-year-old Tamlin there, or whatever, how old he is.
Oh god, don't get me started on Tamlin and how toxic that guy is.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at how he treated her, and she was so young too. And, and then she ends up, because most people who have listened to us, they listen to our podcast, with Rhysand, he's 500 years. I mean, did it take them that long in their age, how old they are, to become mature enough men to be able to deal with a woman? Because sometimes I think men have to, I mean, you get men even at 25. I still don't know if they're mature enough at that age. You know what I mean? Men mature at a very much slower rate than women.
Yeah, they need to be 500 years old.
So that's what I'm saying. So maybe they need to be 500 years old, and she's
maybe
fine.
Tamlin needs another 100 years.
You supported Mr. Tamlin, ma'am. You wanted to change him.
Sorry.
I can change him. It's totally fine.
Honestly, I kind of feel like if Nesta were to be mates with Tamlin, she'd probably whip him right into shape, because this is where I feel like the toxic masculinity can really make some solid change, is if they have a matriarchy that is like, no, fuck off.
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not.
I love Nesta.
I have boundaries. Try me.
Yeah.
There's a girl on Instagram. I'm sure you guys have seen her, and she plays all the parts like on ACOTAR, and she's the one, she has like all the vines on her ceiling, and she plays Nesta, and she's so mean to Rhysand and stuff. Have you ever seen her? She's hilarious.
I have. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Send me your stuff so
I'll have to find her again.
Yeah.
She does all the parts though, and then she's Cassian, and Cassian always wants to see Rhysand's man junk, and and she does all these, and again, it's all her playing all the parts, and she's Nesta, and she's very, the way Nesta is. I always loved Nesta, myself personally. Like, a lot of people are very polarized with her.
Mhm.
They either love her or they hated her. But I always loved Nesta because, I mean, they went through some trauma. I don't know why everybody thought she was just going to be like, and then not have like silver flames, like where she's going through it. And people,
Mhm.
I'm not sure what people were wanting from her. I think what we're going to see with Elaine, I think Elaine's like a sleeper cell. You know what I
I'm
mean?
kinda
Right?
hoping. Yeah.
Because, well, she said that she's been through a lot, and then there's
Mhm.
with Lucian and all that kind of stuff. Will that bond, is it truly real? Is she going to break that bond? But I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg of Elaine. I think she's one of those
Mhm.
people, like, we'll just talk about Bridgerton. You know how the one character, because in case people haven't watched Bridgerton, she is hiding in plain sight the whole time.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
Elaine the same kind of thing? Is she hiding in plain sight?
Mhm.
What is
Or at
going to
least her
happen?
strength, right? The
Mhm.
part of her that's really going to shine, you know what I mean? Because she's,
Yeah.
it's described that she's very soft and very feminine and very beautiful. And it's not that I think that she seems meek, and
Hmm.
at least that's how she's written right now. And I think that's probably where we're like, okay, but the Archeron sisters are pretty badass in
Yeah.
general. I mean, it's like even with Feyre and all the things that she had to work up against, she fought against it and worked it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy with Nesta. She, it's funny. I feel like her biggest issue was herself, right,
Yeah.
and her own like she had walls and her terrible attitude that kept her from making meaningful relationships with people. And I loved the indoctrination of the other women in her situation where they're training to be Valkyries, and Cassian was just sort of like they're like, okay, well, I'm going to train you guys,
Yeah.
and the only thing I didn't really like in the end with Nesta
Uh,
is the idea of her giving up her power to save Feyre. She never wanted it. She hated it. Like she was like
Mhm.
talking about how she didn't want it. Ugh. So it almost seemed kind of self-serving in the end. It was a really beautiful way to conclude the book. It was a
Mhm.
beautiful way to
Yeah.
show that she actually did love her sister and that she wanted to save her. And that was a big
Yeah.
thing for her, right? Because she was always about Nesta. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about me. I'm about like my boundaries. Don't cross me, la, la, la. But then she's
Mhm.
faced with like, you have to give. You know what I mean? And so it felt like it was like, well, I'm going to give you the thing that I didn't want in the first place. So it was
Right.
sort of, that was the only thing that I was just
Yeah.
kind of like, I
Mm.
feel like if it was something that she couldn't part with,
Mhm.
if it was a part of herself that she loved and she had to give it,
Yeah.
you know,
It wasn't a
or
true sacrifice on her end.
that
Yeah.
that part. And that's
Mhm.
that's the only thing that I'm kind of like, okay, but,
Mhm.
but I too have a very like polarized relationship with Nesta's character because I
Mhm.
absolutely love her strength of will and her boundaries are absolutely stunning, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, in every respect, because literally everybody's walking on eggshells around her
Yeah.
because she's just like, I'll fucking beat your ass. Like,
Oh
how
yeah.
about that? And I love that
Yeah.
mentality because it's strong and
Yeah.
but it's also abrasive, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it can be very challenging to connect with somebody
Mhm.
who's that,
Yeah.
Oh, she's
you know.
definitely bristly. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll see more, or we'll see more about her. I have so many theories. I have found so many theories leading into book 6 and 7 and 8.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see if any of the theories that were out on the interwebs, if any of them hold weight. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, we
Mhm.
did get to see a little bit more of Nesta there when you read Crescent City 3, and you see, because
Mhm.
that's after, even a little further down the line. I mean, she still has that bristleness. She does not become like Elaine and become sweet and kind. But I don't think she was raised to ever be that, because when you read about Mama Artrankas, again, we don't have her name, and
Right.
I am not sold 100%. Did Mama Archeron truly die?
Yeah. I mean, and that is a rule in all kind of like entertainment, creative entertainment facets. So like writing and like on movies and TV shows, like if you don't actually see them die, are they actually dead?
Because
Like the
yeah,
only one I'm
yeah,
convinced of is the father, right? Because we saw him
yeah.
on page die.
Yes, he died, and we know they did the ashes, all that. We know supposedly the mother died. I have a lot of theories of who the mother is. I don't. Do I think she's human? No, I don't really think she is, because the reason that plays in for me there is because when not so much Farah, the way she became what she ended up becoming, because she got all of it from all the High Lords, that's how she became. But when the two sisters went into the cauldron and they came out high fae, not just
Mm.
lesser fae, because the cauldron could have spitted them out as anything, but they were
Mm-hmm.
all high fae. I think it's because there's something more with their lineage, and the cauldron knows like comes to like. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
and plus what they are, because I think, like I said, Elaine's a sleeper cell. I
Yeah.
think she is something more. There's a possibility that, because we know the grandmother was mentioned, because she's the one that
Mm-hmm.
gave Nesta dance lessons and all that stuff, and was very stern and angry. And the mother, we know she was very stern. And why did she, out of her three daughters, tell the youngest to take care of the family? Why didn't she tell Nesta this, her oldest daughter? Why did she put all the weight to take care of the family on her youngest child?
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot, but I think I, I, I just have a feeling that she's not dead, because they never say about going to visit her grave. They never mention any of that. So are we sure?
Are we
Because
sure?
they made sure to do something for the dad. They have a monument, but nothing she never mentioned. Maybe it's just at the time when SJM was writing and she just didn't think anything of it. But I don't think she does anything for not a reason. Do you know what I mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
she has things very well planned out, and I think this is why she likes to do. Just like when the girl was talking to her in March, and she's like, "Why is there a pool of moonlight in the spring court?" She goes, who comes up with these theories?" They're like, "You do." And
You
she's all like,
do.
and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Yeah, that's me." I have a theory with that too. Why there's a pool of moonlight?
Yeah.
Why do you think there's a pool of moonlight
I
in the spring
actually,
court?
to be honest, I never even thought about it.
I know, me either. I was just
I
kind of
did
like, that
it.
was a
I
cool
feel
part.
bad. Now this, because again,
um,
I have researched so many theories. So some of these theories have me convinced on this one. Now, if this is my mind, again, like you said, if we don't see the bodies,
Mhm.
you know, I think that Rhysand's sister is still alive.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I
Yep.
think she had a relationship with Tamlin. And I think she created the pool of moonlight, because why would there be something of night in the spring court?
Ooh,
Okay.
I like
And
that.
and I think when all the bad stuff was happening, I don't know if the mothers, even if Rhysand's mother's truly dead, even though they said their wings were hung up in the spring court. Who said that those were their wings? We don't know. And
Mhm.
then when Feyre went to look for them, they're missing. He
Well,
said he
and
got rid of them.
Tamlin and Rhysand were like
They were
best friends
friends.
before all that. So yeah, and to point to what you were saying about like SJM kind of like
Hmm.
leaving little things, I feel like that's actually a really smart thing to do as an author, only
Hmm.
because it's like, because I'll do that with certain things like in books, because it's like it leaves you that little bit of opportunity to expand or to like bring in something where the reader's like, wait a minute, you mean
Hmm.
this thing and this book and blah, and it just
Oh, I
it's
love
good.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. And then a lot of times you don't realize it. Of course, it's an Easter egg until you're into another book into it, and then you're like,
Wait a
wait.
minute.
I remember this. This is why a lot of times I like to annotate in my books. I do the little tabs. But I mean, Oh, I think there's so many possibilities. Now, like, in your series here, do you your have you put are there little Easter eggs for us
Oh,
to find and survive?
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Oh, see, that's
So,
even more exciting.
uh-huh. Yes. So just like pay attention to all the little things because at some point
It'll all make
it'll
sense.
all make sense. Yes.
So your series that you've done, with,
B
I'm sorry,
B.
B
Stephens.
Steppins, there we go.
Yeah.
How does that work as far I've been so interested in hearing from your perspective, like how
Yeah.
that works writing with somebody else. Obviously you must be able to work well together.
Yes.
Do you guys physically see each other or are you states away or what is that like?
So she lives in she lives in a different state and
Okay.
I live in California and she
Oh,
just
hey, me
lives.
too. I didn't
You
know
do?
that. Yeah.
Oh my God, we can
Okay.
hang out. That makes me really
Yeah.
happy. So I'm in Northern California and
Okay,
she's in Nevada.
I'm in
So she's
Southern.
not that far. We could do the drive. It's
Mhm.
just a long day of driving.
Mm.
Like she did that yesterday because I got a big shipment of inventory so that we could do signed copies for like
Mhm.
what I was saying. So signed copies are now available in the TikTok shop and everything.
Woohoo. Yeah.
But so she came and we signed all the so but to answer your question, we I think we complement each other really well. I think it would be hard if like, you know, we were really, really similar in things, because she's very structured and she is really good with like planning things and whatnot. And I mean, I can be, but I'm very much like a let's just do it. La, la, la. So she's been really excellent about like keeping things really structured. And so we came up with like a system of like, we storyboarded everything and then we created a chapter draft for each book. And so that way it kind of gives us a roadmap of where we're going with each chapter. So that way, like, and we go through it, we'll take like a day or two and talk about, okay, where are we going with this
Mhm.
book? So recently it was book 3. So we were like, okay, where do we want this to end? How do we want the character arcs to look? And we usually work on plot first, and then we pepper in the spice as we need to, right? Because we are at heart dark romance readers. You know what I mean? So we want to give a lot of our reader base what they like, which is excellent plot with delicious spice at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So we work on that and then we put it all in our chapter draft and then we write separately, but then we put it all in like a Word doc and then we edit each other's work as we go. And we try and maintain each other's voice. Like I have a certain way that I like to write and she does too. And we want that to be showcased in the books and in each
Mhm.
chapter because she writes from the perspective of a lead and Xanth. And let me just tell you, Xanth, fucking stroke of genius on B's part. I mean, the fact that he is a blue dragon and he's like 7 feet tall and he has 9 piercings in his cock.
Oh, okay.
I like that. I've
So
asked
do
my husband.
I.
I asked my husband if he would ever get a piercing there. He informed me, no, he will not do that for me.
It's like negative ghostwriter. We are not doing any of that.
That's what your books are for.
Yes, yes. You get to disappear into your little fantasies with the
Yes.
pierced penises of your male main characters. Enjoy. So yeah, that was like, and then a lot of people really, really love Xanth because she did such a good job
Yeah.
of creating this character that's like, he's kind of an asshole, like kind of an asshole, but he's also like, this is his arc. You know what I mean? He refuses to be with phoenixes. He sleeps with one person one time and not any more than that. And he's a drug lord. He has an underground like drug operation, you know what I mean? And they're all shifters in this world. So Elysia is a myriad of animal shifters, but the ones that really rule are the fire wielding shifters, so the phoenixes and the dragons. And they hate each other. They've hated each other thousands of years. And so it's been warring against who gets dominance and that sort of things. And then when the humans come into the picture, this is where the cyberpunk element gets brought into play. Their only bargaining chip really is their capacity to incorporate machinery into like not only their defense but their offense. And so they enhance their own bodies with machine, but then they also utilize almost like, an avatar where they have this like robotic exoskeleton that they can
Yeah.
come in and come out of.
Yeah.
We have something similar that they use to gain territory and take over um, Elysia. So, and then they recall it Altus because of the main guy that created the machines that gave them the leg up. And so that's where a lot of the conflict comes into play. Is the humans are taking over, and they've built this gigantic prison called Ironscape, and that's where they're shoving a lot of the more dangerous shifters, or really any shifters, into. And that's where the main characters are when you first get into Survive, because they're surviving the prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
got
that's
it.
really
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. So when I had seen like the covers, I was wondering just based off of that, because a lot of people judge the book by the cover.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And so I was thinking like, oh, is it sci-fi? I like how you explained the cyberpunk. So it's not really sci-fi or right. No, so
Mm-mm.
it's more like traditional fantasy with like the
Hmm.
cyberpunk. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
It's different. Like that's unique. I don't really
Yeah.
see much of that.
Yeah. And that's what we were trying to go for. We wanted to have something a little bit different because there's lots of shifter fantasy out there. You know what I mean? And a lot of people really love that. But
Yeah.
how can we mix in a different kind of scenario where,
Yeah.
you know,
And the
so
world itself, I mean, is it very like heavy fantasy, or would you say it's more like an urban kind of setting, like that you
it's
just drop right into, or how would you describe that for new readers?
So it's a unique world, but
Okay.
there is this mix of old world and like very futuristic. So the cyberpunk really shifts it on like this other side of the pendulum, right? So the human world, there's a lot of advanced machinery and that they utilize, and there's a lot of tech, and there's a lot of like, you'll see like labs and stuff, and they're
Oh.
experimenting and they're
Okay.
using, medical grade stuff to like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that, but in Elysia, they didn't really have a whole lot of stuff like that. So, a lot of these new things are kind of new for them in the last like several centuries, but they've incorporated it into their world, right? So they have cell phones, they have computers, they have, surveillance stuff,
Yeah.
but, they're used to popping wings and flying places,
Right.
they don't really need transportation.
Yeah.
And so they utilize a lot of that inert ability to get whatever they needed, right?
Yeah.
Whereas as humans, as, special as we try to be, really our magic comes from what we create, and that's in our tech and our machines.
Yeah.
So it is and it isn't, to answer your question.
Yeah.
It's both, which I kind of like the idea of having that old world and this very futuristic element in place, because you kind of get
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
Yeah. I really enjoy that. And I think that people need to hear that distinction sometimes before picking something up.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, how like with romantasy, sometimes my head kind of hurts when I'm like building building worlds and stuff. So
Yes.
I'm really excited to see how you guys brought that to life. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I really love the trajectory of the book and where it's going. I think that it's going to be really awesome at the end. Am I covering your face? Are you seeing this? Okay, good.
Oh no, we'll
I'm looking
be.
at it. I'm like, Chelsea, I'm over here and I can't
Oh,
see you.
you
I'm
can,
sorry.
because you're on your phone, correct? You can
Hmm.
move. You can touch yourself and touch
Touch
yourself, but
myself.
take your little. Oh, that song, from the '80s. Do you remember that one? And you can bring your picture up up above.
Anybody else? When I
I
think
have.
about you, I touch myself. Sorry.
I I do love the '80s. Well, I was born in '80s, so
Hmm.
I have
Same.
my soundtracks, on YouTube, and I
Hmm.
have so many of those '80s songs.
Same.
that's one of them that's on there.
Yeah.
Chelsea is our 90s baby, correct? So
Yes.
It's okay. You're
She's
still
all
born
about
in the
the
1900s. So
yes,
welcome to the
it's
1900s
Yeah.
club or
The
whatever.
fact that
oh,
my 1990 stuff is vintage is already like, it's such a slap
Rude.
in the face.
It's very
so
rude.
rude.
have you seen like all the stuff that's new that's come out? Stirrup pants are back.
What?
Why are
Stirrup?
they bringing that back?
Stirrup pants? What
You remember
what
do you
are
remember
they?
the little knit pants and it had the little stirrup that goes under your foot? Those are back. Those were
Oh,
big.
like
Yeah.
Like
that's
leggings?
weird.
Yes.
That's
They're
weird.
back.
No thanks.
It's I remember things like because I graduated in 98. I remember the stuff that we, like clothes and stuff we had, but it's a lot of that stuff's back. And again, vintage. I don't know. Some things should be left in the past.
Yes.
I will
Stirrup
take
pants is one of them.
I will take pretty much anything apart from the ultra low rise jeans.
Yeah.
Get those things the fuck away from me forever, please and thanks. The fact that I have to not bend in any kind of which way, otherwise the whole world is going to see my ass crack. No, thank you. I will pass on that
Yeah.
fad. No, thank you. Dude,
Y-
not
You know,
interested.
Yeah.
well, I'm
You can
just
keep them,
glad.
Britney Spears.
Well, I'm glad the hair thing didn't come back. Now, mind you, I like to do my breakfast at Tiffany's kind of thing, but I used to have bangs and then
Mm.
I would curl them and I had the big bangs that curled up. And it would take me like an hour getting ready for school. And I had to
Mhm.
curl it and it had to be just perfect. What were we thinking? You didn't probably did Chelsea, because see, you were just that little bit younger. So you weren't part of that whole
She was just a little
hair
wee baby.
catastrophe.
Yeah.
And I had, and then all the guys I went to school with, they had, because that was during the Backstreet Boy era in sync, and they all had the highlights in their
Frosted
hair.
tips. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, my husband, he shaves his hair off, so we would never see his hair anyways. But I don't know what I would think if he did grow his hair out and decide to frost the tips of his hair.
Mhm.
Do we consider that as something that we think at the time it looked good on the guys we thought back then, but today would we consider that an ick now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like,
Mm-mm.
no, thank
Nope.
you. Especially with how stark the blonde was, because it was
Mm.
very like
It's like
blatant.
Yeah.
it's
There was
like
no
what's his name?
finesse to it
Mm-mm.
at all.
What's that chef guy that dyes his hair and he has it
Oh
that it's
God, Guy
platinum?
Fieri.
Yeah. I don't know why he does that. He's kind of, it's like he's stuck in that time period.
Well,
Yeah,
that's his whole image, so he's
his
got to
whole
stick
shtick.
with it. Yeah, exactly.
I
Mhm.
guess. I don't know if people would recognize him if he went back to just having his regular hair.
I would be
Right.
okay if he rebranded. Like, please rebrand. It's
Yeah.
really, really not cute to me. But
But yeah,
people like
I don't-
it. That's fine with me.
I would love to
but
go back to our 9 piercing penis
Ooh.
dragon shifter.
Yes, Xanth.
So Xantha, there we go. I'm just stuck on the penis. I can't even
Yeah.
think of his name.
He also has a Scottish brogue,
Oh,
just to make matters worse.
I love it.
I apologize in advance.
So you have book 1, Survive from the Ashes, that is
yeah,
out and
Yes.
ready. And then number 2, oh, look it, there it is. And then
Yes.
oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, and the chapter art too is really, really beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love a book with nice art in it.
I love it.
Right? Yes. This was Melissa Cunningham of Book Love Designs. She does
Awesome.
Chantal Tessier's stuff. That's the one I know for sure. I think she does a couple other ones, but I'm
That's
not
amazing.
remembering that. But yeah, she's
Now,
incredible.
now they're only in hardback right now, or can you get them in paperback as well?
You can get them in paperback as well. And we
I'm on.
just switched to Kindle or KU, so that way it'll
Oh.
be available. I think we're still waiting because we switched because we wanted to do the wide distribution through Ingram Spark, so that way you could get it on Kobo and the library and everything. But we were finding that not a lot of people were finding it or reading it that use Kindle. So we were like, just nix it and let's
Yeah.
put it on KU so that way we more of an audience because that's where we're finding more readers were finding it. So
Yeah.
we went ahead and switched. I feel like it should be on there, but if it's not, just give it a little bit more time because it takes Ingram Spark a veritable
Yeah.
decade to get anything done because they don't have enough people working there. Like it's just
Yeah.
literally. Um, so, but yes, the paperback, the ebook, and the hardback are all on Amazon, and the print copies are all on Barnes and Noble. But the ebook and everything, that's all on Amazon.
But we can get signed through your new TikTok shop. And can we also get them through your website or is it just on TikTok shop?
Yes. So right now, I think B is putting everything on her website. She has
Okay.
to contact her website person to put it up there. But now that
Okay.
we have the inventory and it's ready to go, it should be up on her website fairly soon.
Awesome.
Nice.
So my website is actually being worked on and it should be done by the end of June.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
So
I'm a
then,
signed
yes.
hardback girly, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. And then your second book, it is in what phase and where is that at?
So, okay.
Oh, yes, your other one. Yes.
Yes. So, Escape from the Ashes. That one, it's done. It's now, we just finished it in alpha reads and we're inputting all of the like stuff and then we're going to put it in beta. So it will be ready, I believe, I think we might try to get it out in winter,
Okay.
and go from there. But I'll for now, I'll just say early spring, and hopefully we'll have some surprises by winter, but we'll see. But we do have the prequel, which tells you why everybody is in the prison. That pre-orders are available now for that, or July 1st is when pre-orders will be
Mm,
available for that. And then the actual book will publish in September.
okay, so we have book 1 is technically Survive
Mhm.
from the Ashes and then the prequel is Fight from the Ashes?
Yes, that one's
Okay.
a point
Okay.
5.
Okay, got it. And so should we read that first or second?
Either way,
Oh,
it's
good
Okay.
totally
question.
fine. Yeah, you can read Survive and then read Fight.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of enjoyed that a little bit better.
Mhm.
But if you're like one of those people that needs to like have it done in sequential, that is also fine.
I
But
like that because some people like me myself. I kind of like going in blind and not knowing, and then being like, "Oh, now I know the answers," and going back.
yeah.
So I get that, but yeah, there are a lot of people. It's like the whole Throne of Glass, Assassin's Blade um argument with people. So it's
Yeah.
like some people say third, some people say first, and so with yours, I like that. I like that we're gonna all fight about it. So we're gonna bring this up on on Instagram and TikTok
Yes,
so we can
please.
fight about the reading order. So that's exciting. But that one's not out yet. It is coming soon. We can pre-order
Yes.
it.
Yes, we can pre-order July 1st and then
Good.
September is when it should be publishing. We don't have a specific date yet, but
Mhm.
I will be updating the socials as soon as we have
Awesome.
that. But the cover just dropped and it is so pretty. Next to each other, they look so good. And that was one of the things we want like each book to like really flow with one another when they're right next to each other. And like
Yeah.
Melissa
The
did such a
Oh,
good
they are
job.
very pretty
feathers,
covers.
yeah, the
Yeah.
feathers are so pretty. They almost look like little butterflies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
I'm looking
love
at them
the
right now. They're gorgeous.
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So I like that she put like the machine hand and fight with the fluttering feathers. I'm like, oh, stop, Melissa.
Perfect.
That looks so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, is that an Easter egg with with what's on the cover? And that is that giving any? Is there any little thoughts with that?
or like subliminal messages.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
really,
Yes.
honestly, it's just a nod to the phoenixes, really. It's not
Oh,
nearly, I'm
okay.
sorry, I'm not nearly as cool. I'm sorry, but like, the bird, we liked the idea of a bird cage, you know what I mean? Because it's just like with the prison and stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
good way of like, hey, they're in prison. uh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like the feathers, I think that was more of just like, it had mixed meanings, right? A nod to the phoenixes, right? Because they're birds, but also, that it's part of the whole aesthetic of being in prison and those bird cages and birds being in the cage. That's sort of like the whole idea around like the astrals or, the shifters, what they called astrals in Malaysia, being in those cages.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I like them. I think they're very pretty covers.
thank you.
I'm a cover snob, and I have to tell you
Same.
they are. I'm looking
Yeah.
at them right now. They are beautiful. So I
Right?
think everyone will. I think they will look very pretty together,
Yes.
like you said. They're
And
very, very pretty.
that was very important for BNI to make sure that they had that like running aesthetic and that they looked really beautiful next to each other on a shelf. And then once the series is completed and they're all out, we really are excited to do special editions. So that way we get the
Ooh.
sprayed edges and they all follow that. Yeah, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that is my favorite.
Yes.
I I have just started getting sprayed edges. So I have a few books, but I sent you the link to our friend Cassandra that we have. I
Mhm.
have never seen somebody have so many sprayed edges as her
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she has to be getting close to like 2000. I know she's over a
Yeah.
thousand books. I know she has to be at least probably around 1500
That's
because and she's
amazing.
so many but you look at it, it's just like I wanna live in her library.
Mhm. I think that's why
Well,
she made it the way that she did, because she's like, "I want this library to look so good," and she did exactly
Oh,
that.
it's beautiful, and I'm just like, every time but Chelsea's behind her there, she has some absolutely beautiful ones.
starting to,
She
yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
she has a lot of beautiful sprayed edges too.
That's
Yes.
gorgeous.
Like
Well,
I said, I'm a
hopefully
very like hardcover. If I can get it signed, then hell yeah, all the things.
yes, all the things,
All the
yes,
things, the sprayed edge, the signed, the hardcover. Yeah.
all of
But
it.
and you've been decorating your shelves and stuff with, your pretty little
Mhm.
things and stuff too. She's been
Yeah.
doing some cute things. I've been looking, since my husband and I have been going out, and I've been getting different things for my bookcase. I got, carnival glass, and I've been buying dragons.
Mm.
I have a dragon, and he's up there by my, is it the blood wings on blood? What is that one called? Bloodwing. You know what
Bloodwing
I'm talking
Academy,
right.
Bloodwing
Ye
Academy, yeah.
yes, I
I
have
haven't
those
read
because
those.
they
I
all
wanna have those. Yeah.
I have the prequel series and I have all of the ones that are out, but I haven't read them yet. But they
Oh,
have the dragon scales and stuff. So I have that, and then I have a baby dragon coming out of an egg. I have different things like that, and I have spiders that are glittery spiders and things like that on my bookcase.
yeah.
That's
Ooh,
So
I like dark vibes.
I love
so
that.
when I get your, is it From the Ashes
Mhm.
series, I'm gonna have to get a dragon. I'm gonna have to get a phoenix.
Uh-huh.
What else am I gonna need?
Well, I would tell you the other one, but then that would be giving away the biggest
Ooh.
part of the end of the first book.
Okay.
Mm.
So I'm going to wait to tell you that last one
Okay.
until after you read it. And then you go, first of all, just be ready to be mad at me because I wrote that last chapter and everybody's like, "H- generally, how dare you?
Who do
Because,
you think you are? That gives
yes,
you the right.
your audacity is bewildering. Like,
Yeah.
what have you done? Like,
Okay. I'm so excited.
yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, see, this is the part I love, when an author comes on here with us and we get to talk to you and you get to tell us directly from your mouth, what you've wrote,
Mhm.
what the feeling you're hoping that, us as readers get. And it has made me so excited to read those because it's from you, and it's part
Yeah.
of you. And
Yeah.
to see your passion and to see how much and how excited you are, that makes me so much more, even more excited to read it. And I love that. I
Yes,
abs- so, and then now you do have another book also.
I do.
You
I do.
and do you want to tell us a little bit about that one here?
Yes. So I have another book series that's a paranormal romance called Kindred. And I've been kicking around the idea of giving the series a title because initially I was just like, it'll be Kindred, and then the next one will be this, and then the next one will be this. But I was actually talking to one of my co-authors about that, and I was thinking about calling it the rights of the bonds of blood or the bond rights or I'm figuring it out. I'm
Yes.
figuring it out either way. So kindred. So just as a thing, I really like to play with the idea of science and fantasy, not necessarily like science fiction, like, Star Wars and Star
Okay.
Trek and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like the idea of blending science and fantasy because fantasy is where I really love to be in general. So what I like to do is because my base is generally in like healthcare science. So I'm a nurse. I'm in labor and delivery. So you'll get a lot of that vibe in a lot of the books that I write because that's what I know. I know that really, really well. I also know a lot about, well, to an extent. I've been through classes. I've read the books about genetics and heredity. I find it incredibly interesting.
Mhm.
The processes of disease and that sort of thing. So with kindred, that's where you see a lot of like me melding the idea of like vampirism and blending it into some kind of science. And what I did with that was, so with chickenpox, when you get chickenpox as a younger person or whatever, that virus never really leaves your body. It stays in a little sac on your spine called your dorsal root ganglion. And when you experience stress or some kind of trauma, it can release back into your body as herpes zoster or shingles. And so
Yeah.
that idea, I decided to take that and use it as like, okay, we have this allele on our X chromosome, which everybody has when we have a gender assignment. Everybody has an X, right? Women are XX, men are XY. X is there. The allele is on that X. And what happens is when a person experiences this massive bodily trauma in some way, shape, or form, there is the opportunity for that allele to activate and then perfect the genetic code and thus creating a vampire. Now, the important thing with these vampires is that it is not like you're going to exsanguinate the person in order to satiate. Because let's be real, if you sit down to a Thanksgiving dinner and you eat the entire dinner, you're not going to survive that experience. You're not going to glut yourself on the entire turkey dinner and the pumpkin pie and all the things. And so I took that as like vampires need blood, but they're not going to need to like eat the whole person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not, at least that's not how I took it. So,
Yeah.
but I wanted to play around also with the idea of them emitting a pheromone that draws exactly what they need from whoever has. So if maybe they need a little bit of copper or zinc or manganese or, sodium, they're going to emit a pheromone that draws the exact human that they require to them. And they call them
Oh.
matches.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Yeah. So you come into the book through the perspective of, because it's in two perspectives, Vincent and Yvonne.
Mhm.
And Vincent you're in World War II in Normandy during D-Day. And so he's storming Omaha Beach as a medic. And one of the important things about Vincent is that he is biracial. So he's black and white. And there was one black medic that stormed the beach of Normandy. And so I was like, hey, it's feasible.
Oh,
Mhm.
We can do it.
I love it.
yeah.
So he stormed the beach of Normandy, and that's where he experienced his change into a vampire. And he did that with another, like, it's like, what a miracle that there was only one other person that was actually a vampire that was also a medic, and that also helped him. And so that's where he meets James Merrick, and they become sort of like this duo, and Merrick is sort of his mentor and helps him work through becoming this new way of being. And what are the rules? What can he do? How does he feed? How does he maintain anonymity?
Mhm.
Which in and of itself is kind of a hard thing for Vincent, because being biracial, where do you fit in? you know? And now that is a vampire, he really, where's that just limits it even more. So this idea of isolation and abandonment is really strong within him, right? And he feels like he doesn't really belong anywhere. He doesn't really have a home. And then you have the other perspective, which is Yvonne, who she also kind of has a similar thing. She grew up in the foster system, and she had to really work hard to get not only her education, but find her own feet, make money. And she's now working as the lead investigative journalist for a major company in San Francisco, for a news company. So she finds out that there's this drug that's being distributed that is changing people into what seems to be vampires. And so she's now trying to investigate and find people that have either worked with it or that are actually these, like, that have been changed. And that's when she meets Vincent. And so it has like Interview with the Vampire vibes, a little bit of Sookie Stackhouse, but it's very yeah, I really love the book, the story. It makes me really happy. I really like how Vincent gets just fucking demolished at the end of this book. Like I I love him with my whole heart, but I really hurt his
Yeah.
feelings towards the end.
Oh.
So the second book though, the second book is where we see the dark side of Vincent. We get to see his shadow, and that was so much fun to write because he has no fucks to give anyone.
Villain era, Rebecca.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Mhm.
very deep in my villain era
Yeah.
right now because if you look on my bookcase, those are my those are my men.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
enjoy. So I'm excited. Oh, that sounds really good
That's really
too.
cool. I mean, it's like a
I mean,
historical fiction and
yeah,
fantasy all wrapped into one. That's really cool.
In a pretty
well, see,
little package.
Yes.
and I have to say, and it is also a very pretty cover too. I have to tell
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So, and then where can you find that one? Because that one comes out at the end of June, correct? Yes.
Yes, June 30th, it's being republished by Spark and Quill, and right now you can get pre-orders. You can pre-order it on the Spark and Quill website.
Awesome. Which
Yeah.
by the time this airs will be coming up very, very soon.
Yes.
It's very
Yes, it will
exciting.
be.
Yeah.
Yay! Perfect. It'll be good advertisement for it.
Yes.
Absolutely. You also mentioned that they're running an insane ARC promotion. Did you want to talk about that?
Oh, yes. So I forgive me if I don't have like all of the little nitty gritty, but they are running an ARC promotion through Jack Press. But I made sure because I was like, is it just Jack Press or is it Jack Press and Spark and Quill? And the publisher said it's both. So if you sign up as an ARC reader for Jack Press, you have like first access to not just like the books that are coming out on like one side or the other, but all of them. And you get to take like your pick of what you want to read, and you get the opportunity to get like merchandise. You also get first dibs on like the copies as they come out. So it's a good way to get like first, like you get it first, you know what I mean? And that's sort of like the idea is like, oh, I just knocked open my little thing here. Oh god. Yeah, it's the opportunity for readers to get the series before it comes out. Because as an ARC reader, that's sort of like our street team, right? So we want you guys to read the books and review it and do all the things so that way our books start to gain some traction. So you get all the stuff before it ever comes out. So that's the idea. And there's a lot of different things that they're offering the ARC readers if you sign up under Jack.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and
pretty
so it's
neat.
not necessarily it's like for all the people that they represent or all the people that they have under their
Yes.
okay.
So, and most Jack Press in general, they really they do all kinds of different genres, right? They lean very heavily on the fantasy, right? Because a lot of the authors that they've signed, they're all fantasy authors. On the Jack Press side, they have a couple of adult fantasy fiction. I know C.A. Jackson has Boy in the Emerald Fire. That's like a more of a adult fantasy book. But then there's also The Island of Calamity by Cooper Cadman, and his is more of a YA fantasy. So, and then there's another one. I can't. His name is Ephraim, but he's a little bit new, so forgive me. Sorry, Ephraim. But he's got also a very like unique world fantasy, very high fantasy book as well. So that's, but they all live on the Jack Press side. And then, and Spark and Quill, that's where you're going to see more of your people. You're going to see the dark romance, the paranormal romance. That's where all of those are going to live. My other two authors, Alyssa Mullins and I.L. Jordan, they both have. So I just finished Hazelwood, which is I.L. Jordan's piece, and that's horror romance. And I haven't really read a whole lot, but hers was very good. I love the fact that there is this. It's a giant mansion that's haunted and it's sentient, and so.
Ooh.
And there's the perspective of Raina. She has multiple different perspectives. So there's Raina and Jace. Although you don't get too many chapters with Jace, but you do get two other male perspectives. Forgive me, I'm not remembering their names right now, but two other male perspectives. Kurt is one of them. And shit, I can't remember the other one. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Forgive me, IL. She's like, God damn it, Laura, you're supposed to be promoting my shit. What are you?
I forget things like right after I read them. So
yeah, I feel bad. And what's funny is that guy, that's like the guy that I actually really like because he's kind of an asshole. So I kind of like him naturally. So Raina is like sort of, they have to feed the house. Like, so they have to give the house, like sacrifices.
Oh.
It's good.
That sounds interesting.
And it's spicy. It has spice in it. So it's like it gives a little bit of American Horror Story, but like but yeah, just it's got its own like little vibe to it. That's just it's new and it's different and I really liked it. I think she did a really good job. The ending, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, IL? Like, you're just going to leave it like that? She's like, I'm sorry. That's the only place I could end it. And I'm just like, now what am I going to do?
Will that have another book or was that the end of, there is. Okay. So it's just a cliffhanger.
That's going to be a series. Yeah. She's got a whole plan for that. And then Alyssa is dark romance comedy. So she also has a vampire book, but it's more of like, there's more of like a banter and a comedic relief to it, which I personally love. I love it when you have like this like paranormal element and there's like deep emotional vibes, but then you also have fun, witty banter in it. Yeah. It's a good swing of the pendulum, you know?
Yeah.
So she's,
that is exciting. And what was the name of that book that you're
Stake
talking
Me
about?
If I'm Wrong.
Oh God, that's a good
Isn't
name
that
too.
so great? Yeah. So she hasn't given me her damn book yet. I'm just like, God damn it, Alyssa. I want to promote you. Give me your book so I can read it.
Now, you also were saying that that you're doing if I remember correctly, if I'm remembering from what you said, you're doing something with a Christmas book too?
I am. Oh my God, it's so funny you remember
for this Christmas.
Okay, listen. So
Linda, honey,
listen, okay. I had every intention to finish this book by Christmas. However, with the contemporary piece that I'm writing, which I'm planning on finishing hopefully by the end of June, possibly mid-July. That is the plan anyway. I would like to be finished with the Christmas one, like probably in like early spring so that I can start promoting the shit out of it. And I feel like that deadline's passed. So for me, I think what I might try and do, don't hate me. So I might try and get it done over the winter, but that's only if I don't get stuck on my other fantasy series that I'm writing. I am
How many projects do we have going?
So fucking many. So many.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it keeps me busy, which means that I'll have more books out there, which is great. Yeah. And then so the book is mainly about Krampus, right? So I had this idea about doing some sort of monster romance. And I really love the premise because, right, so the story of Krampus is sort of like evil Santa, right? And, I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with it. And I'm still kind of figuring out the chapter outline, which is why I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be done by this Christmas. Like, I haven't even finished the damn chapter outline, even though I have like 7 chapters written. Like, I haven't even finished. I don't know where we're going. Like,
Well, that's exciting too, because you don't know where you're going yet.
I
So
don't know where we're going
the
yet.
the possibilities.
There's so
I
many
like the
Also,
possibilities.
premise of it.
yeah, and I was gonna
Yes.
say it might even be better, like, because you have so many projects going on. I mean,
Mhm.
and you're a mood reader. Are you also kind of a mood writer where maybe
Oh,
you need to wait till winter to get your inspiration for the rest of Krampus? Yeah.
yes. I feel
Okay.
very seen right now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very much watch. I'll probably be like, "Hey you guys, so you know how I said that thing? I went ahead and finished it in like 3 weeks because I
Right.
got inspired because Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas in July. Yeah.
Christmas in July,
Yeah.
which would be great. But like, I don't really know how that's all gonna go because right now the contemporary piece, I'm getting so close to being done with that and I'm very excited. But then I also have my other fantasy piece, which will be a series. And I'm halfway through with that one already. And that one plays with string theory. And I am really fucking excited about that because
Yeah.
that was super fun. And just as a short thing, it's like you have 2 beings from like a very unique world. One of them is a dreamer, which creates the strings of reality in their mind. And then the phasers are able to touch those strings and go into those realities.
Okay, see, that's neat.
Right? And so the idea is dreamers, obviously, not every thought or in dream is going to be pleasant. So the nightmares that they have also get created. And so they push those strings of reality in the farthest reaches of space. But one of those nightmares manages to get out, and led the vibe of the bad is a sentient black hole, and then it just builds by consuming all of these realities, and their most favorite thing to consume is the dreamers, and so they're devouring the dreamers. And the premise of it is the last dreamer who is put on earth in hiding, and she's been having nightmares since she was a little girl. She was adopted. She, as and then the only thing that can help her with these nightmares is taking medication to stop her from dreaming. But she also doesn't feel anything anymore. She doesn't have like deep connections with anybody apart from her boyfriend who she went to nursing school with, and like so he's been helping her, and then they both decided together like I'm going to try and come off the medication. She comes off the medication, she starts dreaming again. She's not really feeling anything, but then she starts seeing this sentient black void, but then she also sees a visitor that's there constantly seeing what's happening. And finally, she wakes up from a nightmare because this visitor says, "Wake up." She wakes up, and then they're both sitting on the couch after coming home from work. And then there's a knock on the door, and Erin answers it, and it's the visitor from her dream. And he says,
Oh.
You need to come with me. Very Terminator moment, right? You need to come with me if you want to live. And they're like, "Why? Who are you? What is going on?" And Cassie, who is the dreamer, basically, she doesn't know any of this, right? She's like, "That's the guy. That's the visitor." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And so Fallon, who's the visitor, Aaron is the boyfriend, Cassie is the dreamer.
Mhm.
He Fallon takes them to the liminal, which is like a secret hidden space, hence the name, right? The liminal.
Yeah.
And they go there with all of these different beings, all of these different phasers, and that are basically what is it called? Refugees from different areas, different planets, different realities that have been eaten and devoured by the void. And so they get there, and this is where Cassie learns more about who she is, where she comes from,
Hmm,
and how she can utilize her ability to protect herself and fight back. And so, and
I like it.
thruple.
Oh.
What'll I choose?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of my favoriteest things ever. It's one of my favorite things to read. It's also really fun to write. So
That's exciting.
That is intriguing. I like that. That sounds, and that's a project that you're working on. Okay.
Yet another one. The contemporary piece and that one, and then also the one with Bree, and then also Kindred, and I'm writing a lot of things.
Lots of things coming from LE Cells, everybody.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. This has been a super fun today. Have you enjoyed our conversation?
Absolutely. I loved this.
This
You
is
guys are super fun.
You are super fun. Again, you make me laugh all the time. I enjoy always your videos and the things that you say. And that's why I wrote on you the other day and I told you that you crack my soul inside because it makes me laugh
In a
really
good
hard.
way.
In a good way, but I don't remember what it was that you were saying, but it was something. Oh, it was the handcuffs.
I was gonna
And
say,
it
was it the
cracked,
handcuffs?
it was the handcuffs. And it cracked me up because just how you were saying it and where it led to. And I'm like, that cracks my heart.
I heard the audio. I'm like, well, that's pretty easy. I can do that. I can work with that.
But you make me laugh. You're an amazing person. You are an amazing author. And let's tell everybody again where everybody can find you. Where are you are you mostly on Instagram? Are you mostly on TikTok? Where can everybody find you?
So I am mostly on TikTok, but I am trying very hard to build my Instagram voice and presence. So it's definitely a different place than
Yeah.
TikTok because
Mhm.
that's I have a I started there with an astrology account which like went off. And I was like, it's not really meaningful to me in the sense where it was just sort of like, I'm just making silly videos and people loved it. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but I want to do the writing thing. So
Yeah.
that's where I live and that's where I'm trying to build mostly. And then I'm trying to do the Instagram thing. And then I'm also, hopefully my website will be a lot more robust. And I'd like to offer more stuff on the website, like short stories. So that way, if you like small, smutty stories, have that available for you guys. I'd love to be able to like offer like discounts on some of this stuff, free things, also like building an art community. So I'm going to work on all that stuff with my website. So that is to come hopefully in the beginning of July. I'll be able to have more of that available for my website. So that way
Awesome.
I can
Now is
engage
your
with the readers.
handle Now is your handle on Instagram and TikTok the same? So people know how to find you.
So on TikTok, it's l.e.author.
Okay.
And then on
Okay.
Instagram, it's Ellie Sells Books.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at least on
And
Instagram, we can post it in the caption. So everybody make sure
yes.
you go there and check it
Mhm.
out.
Check it out.
And then what is your website? I know right now it's in its construction phase. They're getting fixed. But what is your website as well?
It's www.elliesellsbooks.com.
Okay, so everybody will be able to find you.
Yeah.
And then your books and that you said that you can pre-order and you said that is from on the publisher's website is it better just to go through your website? Where is your preferred place for people to find your books?
Oh, for sure. So on all of my social platforms, I have like a link thing and you can go in there and then it'll take you right to where you can get the books. So with Kindred, it's the pre-order link is on Spark and Quill. But if you're on any of my socials or on my website, the link will take you directly to where you need to be to get the book. Yeah.
And also, we will on our link tree because I always keep our last three authors. I always keep. We have a little vault. I will link your link tree to our link tree, and it'll be posted there so people can find it easy as well.
Yeah.
Um, but this has been super fun, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
you were here. I'm so glad. I hope you come back and visit again because I want to talk piercings with you. I want to
Yeah.
talk giant cocks with you. I want to
Reasonably sized ones.
with
Yes, definitely. At
this-
least after we were able to read Kindred and all that, because we're going to have to talk
yes.
about it and deep dive it. So, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this has been super fun. But also, everybody remember, go to YouTube, go to Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Audible. Please go follow us, give us a rating. As Heather says, give us 5 stars. And so that we can keep the chaos coming. But is there anything else you want to say, Chelsea, before we leave? No, we're all good. Well, then
No,
Good
just
night,
thank you
book.
for spending the time with us. We
Oh,
appreciate it.
yes,
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. You guys are phenomenal. You're so
absolutely.
much
Well,
fun.
thank you. Thank you. Um, but good night, book babes. Good
Good
night.
night.